Welcome to Discovering.
I have a couple different stories for you tonight. You may have seen them before, but they are good ones to share again. First, a lake trout charter story from 2021.
This is the biggest fish I've caught in at least a couple of years.
And the annual Strawberry Festival in Chassell was held this past weekend. I have the story I did on it a few years ago.
You know, we anticipate to sell 5,000 shortcakes. To put that in perspective, on Thursday we had volunteers clean 185 flats or 1,480 quarts.
So sit back and relax. It's Monday night and it's time for Upper Michigan's very own Discovering.
The secret streams that flow beneath the cliffs of colored stone. Forest thick and healthy with birch and pine and oak. Surrounded by the greatest lakes this world has ever known. The black bear's awesome presence as he roams the hills and fields. Call of the timber wolf, the loon's lonesome trill. The eagle soaring high above, the trout lies deep and still. These are what I treasure, the only way I measure feelings that I have for this fine land. There is so much to discover when you're a long-time lover of northern Michigan.
It's Rainbow Charters. We fish out of Grand Marais, Michigan. We've been doing it for about 12 seasons now, targeting lake trout. The majority of the fish are lake trout that we target. And we do all-day and half-day charters. I've been fishing out here since 1968, probably. So, and my dad ran the charter boat for, probably 10 years, and then I started doing it in 2010 or so.
Grand Marais is a small harbor town on the shores of Lake Superior on the eastern end of the Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore. Not a place one just travels through on their destination elsewhere. It's a destination of its own. We left the harbor early in the morning for a half-day charter. Rod took us way out into the vast and calm waters of Lake Superior. Lake trout are a cold water species and are sensitive to heat. When nearshore waters warm in the summer, lake trout hide at the bottom of cold, deep water basins of 100 to 200 feet or more.
More mark fish number 2, please. And that was the bottom.
Legally, we could have fished with 15 lines out, 3 per person on the boat. Rod put out 3, 2 on downriggers to bring the lures down to those 200-foot depths, and 1 rod fishing shallower, which I don't think we caught a single fish on.
Got spoons on both, all 3 of them actually. Monkey Puke on the port side and Michael Jackson on the starboard side. Well, if you start running more rods and reels, you're fishing so deep that it becomes a tangled mess. And I'd rather spend my time fishing than untangling fishing line. Oh, you got fish, Walter.
Got a fish.
Reel them in.
It didn't take long for the fish to start biting.
The problem with catching these fish so deep is that it's hard to let them go because from coming up so far, they really don't survive. The DNR says the mortality rate's 40% just because of the temperature change. There you go. Well done. Mark them. Number 3. Pretty Lake Superior lake trout. Yeah, it's there.
Can I try?
Yeah, go ahead, try.
How big a bite did that one?
Reel it right tight to the water.
Tight as you can reel it. Good pull up.
I didn't feel it break free yet.
Yes.
There you go, you got it.
Okay. Think so?
Catch up, yeah, it's off.
All right. I thought it'd feel more hot. 150.
different species.
I
The
know.
other one. Different.
There you go, Ron. You want this one? It's a nice fish. You don't want them that last little bit. There we go. Nice job. Well done. Mark them. Look at the hooks off of them already.
The morning went by fast. Fish hit those 2 rods one after the other. We were doubled up 3 times. Probably lost as many fish as we landed. They were hitting the bait light, but that's fishing.
You're supposed to look strained more.
Oh. It's too much fun to look straight.
I think you're 41, Walt. Hold on. A big one.
Oh yeah, mine's bigger. Oh,
Oh, no!
oh! That's what I get for bragging. Oh boy.
It's supposed to get windy this afternoon, but it's gorgeous right now.
Lake Superior was like glass that morning. The vast, bright blue waters of this freshwater sea make for a pretty epic office view.
So we rip a gill on these fish and bleed them out in the cooler. And it makes less of a mess on the cleaning table. And they do taste a little bit better when you get all the blood out of them. All right, who wants this one? I'm sure there's a lot worse ways to make a living than running a boat every day, you know? It's good fun. I enjoy being out on the water and fishing, catching fish, watching other people catch fish.
The crew let me in on the fishing action, and I landed a few nice Lakers.
Nah, I don't need a hold. There it is.
My dad's like,
This lake trout has been recently fed on by a sea lamprey.
yeah, sure does.
There's my fish. That was a feisty fish.
They let me battle another Laker, and Walt and I were doubled up, determined to land them both.
Grab the right one.
I say, it feels pretty heavy.
I got a minnow. I gotta go behind you. There you go. That's a big belly, yeah. Step backwards.
Maura was behind the camera here. I might just have to hire her for more fishing shoots.
There we go. We got him. Hold on.
After a couple hours, a light breeze picked up.
All right, fish on.
Come on, Mara.
I put the drone up to film Maura catching the last fish of the morning, and it turned out to be the biggest one of the day.
This is the biggest fish I've caught in at least a couple of years. I am over the moon. Wow, look at the fins on this guy. What a fish. How much does it weigh? Let's see.
15.3. Wow.
15.3. What a dandy. That's a successful day on the lake. Absolutely.
The 75th annual Copper Country Strawberry Festival was held in Chassell on July 7th and 8th. That's right, this small community has been celebrating strawberries for 75 years now.
Story goes, the berry farmers of Chassell had these beautiful strawberries, and they said, we really need to showcase this. So even though they were trucking them out of area, they said, let's celebrate it in our community.
Strawberries usually ripen the first or second week of July, hence the midsummer timing of the festival.
Supposedly, this is the best ground to grow strawberries here in Chassell. I don't know if it's the sandy soil, I don't know if it's the climate. I'm not a berry farmer myself.
And since year one, it has been put on by the Chassell Lions Club.
So the Lions Club putting on the Strawberry Fest, but you know, in a usual small community, it's a bunch of different groups. It's a great event, both with the Queen pageant on Friday night, the parade that we just got done with, the fish boil, the kids parade on Friday night. It's just great events, both Friday and Saturday.
Thousands of people lined the main street for the parade, and thousands waited in line for shortcake.
You know, we anticipate to sell 5,000 shortcakes. To put that in perspective, on Thursday we had volunteers clean 185 flats or 1,480 quarts.
The cake recipe is top secret, so this is the only place you'll eat a strawberry shortcake this good.
How's the shortcake?
There is a recipe. They don't allow the president to know the recipe because he knows that secret will get out.
It's the Chassell berries. That's the secret recipe. Grown with love.
So I think we have 9 local berry farms providing the berries. And the amazing part is they're still picking today. I know they brought 16 flats in and those sold within 30 minutes.
To learn more about the history of strawberries in the Copper Country, I visited the Chassell Heritage Center and the 101-year-old Henry Oatinen Farm. Strawberry farming began in the early 1900s in the Copper Country. Small growers offered self-picking to locals and sold excess to area stores.
Because all the old people, they used to supplement their income with strawberries. If they had dairy or whatever they worked out. My grandfather bought this in 1922, and 2022 it was in the family for 100 years. And we're still farming. Well, my grandfather had a milk house, and he sipped some of his strawberries to association in Chassell.
Commercial shipping of strawberries to outside markets began in 1936 when the Copper Country Strawberry Growers Association formed. Because they are highly perishable, strawberries had to be shipped the same day as harvest.
The Strawberry Growers Association, they had a depot in Chassell right where the pavilion is. We would bring the berries there and they would ship them to Chicago on a train first and semis later.
And by 4 p.m. the strawberries were loaded and left Chassell to markets in Chicago, Milwaukee, and Minneapolis. Strawberry market sales from 1936 to 1979 estimated $2.7 million. After the first Strawberry Festival in 1949, the 1950s saw an increased interest in strawberry farming and a boom happened. At its peak, there were approximately 450 strawberry farms with over 600 acres of strawberries in the Copper Country.
Well, there was growers in Jacobsville and all over. You know, guys planted 5 or 10,000 plants and supplement their income.
But these strawberry fields weren't forever. Only 50 farms were still in operation in 1970 when Henry Oatinen started growing strawberries.
When I worked for the co-op, well, the summers were quiet, so I could never fuel or gas in the morning or afternoon. So that I started with strawberries on that farm here. I've worked on a farm all the way in my life, you know. Use the land. I have all the equipment, so I had something to do in the summertime.
Today, there are only about a half dozen strawberry farms left, totaling about 20 acres.
On the Klingville Road, I think it was 15 strawberry farms when I was started. And now we're the last of Mohegans right now. "800 quarts of these juicy red berries for Strawberry Fest came from the Henry Oatinen farm. Devouring this shortcake, I had no idea the work that goes into growing them.
Get the fields prepped in the spring. You got to plant, then you got to snip blossoms, then you got to, fertilize. You got to mulch. You got to cultivate. There's a lot of work involved. And of course, the 3 weeks in July when they're producing is the busiest time of the year. We plant 20,000 plants a year.
Strawberry planting machinery hasn't changed much in 100 years. Henry's grandfather planted by hand.
make a hole, see. It leaves a hole and you put the plant in there.
So the plants, somebody else grows those, and then we get them as small plants, and then we put them in the ground with our plant that you sit on now. People sit on there, and it's drawn by the tractor, and these fingers go around. You put the plant in there as they go down. The fingers close. The furrow makes a place to plant it, and it puts it in, and it buries it back up.
That's what you're using nowadays?
That's what we're using now.
You said it was tobacco first?
It was a tobacco planter.
Do you have to plant them every year?
Yes.
You do?
I have 9 fields that I rotated amongst.
Your first year field is the best, and that's what this one is. The first year it produces. So you're looking at the first year field right here, and there's not quite as many weeds in it. And then if you look here, this is the second year field. And you'll see the strawberries in here are a little smaller than, of course, these ones in the new field. They do get smaller every year. The second year puts a lot of berries. I mean, there's a lot of green berries in here, but we'll have a third year field. This will be a third year field next year. In a couple years, we've had fourth year fields where the plants didn't get overgrown by weeds, and we produced berries off them for 4 years, but it's rare to get 4 out of them. At the end of that 4th season, or even at the end of the 3rd season, this will get plowed under.
Okay.
And then my dad will rotate other crops on top for 3 or 4 years before it would go back to strawberries again.
You have to rotate your crops. If you keep planting berries year after year, what happens is nematodes come and they go into the plant roots and they stop the plant from taking nutrients out of the soil and the plant dies.
The 20,000 new plants then go in the rotated field. These new plants need a lot of TLC from hoeing to blossom removal to encourage runner growth.
The year we plant them, we have to snip the blossoms so the mother plant can send out runners. So every mother plant has either 3 or 4 or 5 other plants hooked to it. So if you had 20,000 plants and each plant has 4 or 5 more runners, well, you times that by 20,000 and you have 100,000 plants.
You see those plants are about that far apart, and then when these runners, they'll go either direction, and they'll plant 2 more new plants right there, and they'll push more runners off. So eventually you'll have a solid row of plants if they all grow right. But this is where you have to come in and hoe these things too to get all these weeds out of here, and that's what one of our guys does.
I fertilized this once already, and I'll do it again in September. Fertilize this twice.
Next season, this will be the first year field, looking very much like this one.
Tame the runners into the row so you have an aisle to walk, and you want those runners to run so that you can get all those more berry plants to get more berries off of them. Because each plant produces, I mean, this one right here, there's a stalk of berries right there, probably 10 berries on it. This one's probably got 5 to 10 berries, so this plant's going to produce probably 30 strawberries throughout the course of the season. Let's see if I can find some nice big ones. We just picked this today, so it's going to be difficult to find. I mean, the ones we took out of today were this big. I mean, they were huge. That's about an average size. The kind of berry we get that are odd shaped, but they get really big. I mean, this is a pretty good size one, but we get them a lot bigger than that too.
The pickers of this farm are Tom and his wife and local kids they hire.
I've been doing this, well, since my dad started doing it in 1970. When you're picking strawberries, you've just got it's a back-breaking job. Bend over, dig through the plants, look for the right berries. And you look here, there's a nice one sitting right there. There's a little bit orange right now, but in a couple days they'll get bigger, they'll get redder. We've been averaging probably 24 to 32 quarts off of a double row after they've ripened up. Standard size quart of berries with a decent sized heap on it.
Their farm is open for self-picking.
Self-picking trade has actually dropped off over the years. So that's my commercial picking has actually gone gangbusters because people don't want to work picking them. So we sell as many berries as I can pick. Every berry we have picked at the field is sold before I leave the field. The demand is great, supply is limited.
And we supply Econo Foods in home and the fruit stand in Lawrence and Ishbury. But I'm getting ready to retire pretty soon, so.
And back to the festival, they sold out of 5,000 shortcakes by 2 p.m. on Saturday. I hope you all have had a great summer so far and have been enjoying some of the older stories I've been airing the past few weeks. I have a couple more weeks of older stories to share with you while I recover from shoulder surgery, and I hope to have some new shows for you in the beginning of August.